welcome to another edition of the DJ Force X podcast. This week I have Richy Nix, solo artist based out of Windsor in Ontario, Canada. He is signed to Fixt, which is home of Blue Starly, Cell Dweller, and a whole bunch more. Go check him out. But yeah, Richy's got a new album out now called Fearless. And that's what we're chatting about today. A little bit of his music background as well, what makes him tick, and a few other stories and things like that, which is, it was a pretty cool interview. I enjoyed having him on the show. And please check out his album. I play it on my radio show. I've played a couple of tracks, which I'll mention in the interview. But if you want to check out my radio show, it's Tuesday nights, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. East Coast. Also Saturday nights, 11 o'clock East Coast, and 8 p.m. Pacific time as well, if you're part of my American contingent. Here's the interview. Enjoy. Welcome everybody to this week's show. I've got a very special guest. I have Richy Nix with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. It's my pleasure. Would you mind giving me some background on yourself?
I'm a singer, songwriter, producer from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm not a typical Canadian. I live right across the Detroit River from Detroit City. I literally could probably throw a rock and hit Detroit from where I live, if I had a good arm. It's kind of a far-fetched thing to say, but it's that close, just so you can have an image in your head of how close I am to Detroit. Uh-huh. And Detroit's been a very strong influence on my music.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some big names out of Detroit. You got like Eminem, Madonna, Alice Cooper. Who else we got? Iggy Pop, I think it's from Detroit. Is that right?
Kid Rock, D12.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Stevie Wonder, even, I think, is out of that way as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and the whole Motown gang back in the day.
Yeah. So has that influenced your work?
Definitely. I would say my strongest influence would be Eminem and his whole Shady Records movement. I was fortunate enough to be able to open up for D12 and Obi Trice, and I got to meet Eminem in a personal setting at his cousin's house, and he's a very, very cool guy. He cares a lot about his family, and it's cool to see someone at that stature in a personal setting, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very interesting experience.
So, who inspired you to pick up your first instrument?
I would have to say to pick up a guitar would be Kurt Cobain. Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorites. I was really into the Nirvana, the whole grunge scene, but I was very young, so I had some older cousins showing me the music when I was a little kid. And but I think I picked up an instrument without any influence of other artists. My grandfather is a musician. He plays the piano, the violin, the accordion, and the guitar, and I would just sit around as a baby and listen to him play, and that's what made me want to play, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got my talent from, was my grandpa.
Excellent. That's quite a few instruments as well, different ones, so that's very good. So we're going to get to what you've released so far. You released an EP, was about 5 years ago, called Note to Self.
Yeah, with Universal Republic.
And how is it being on a label like that? Because it was a major label. Were there any pressures that came with that?
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I had a team of 4. You have your lawyers, two managers, and a PR guy, and people just telling me what to do, go here, do that. I wasn't told what to do as far as writing my music, but there was a lot going on. I was on a lot of radio stations. I was touring and opening up for a lot of big acts like Papa Roach, 3 Days Grace, Drake, Paramore, Weezer, Snoop Dogg, and it just was hectic. And I was just trying to maintain everything and keep. I had a full band with me, and it was just, that was like the crazy part, was trying to stay cool, give a good performance, and find a way to grow from there. Because like, even though I was signed to a major, it felt like I won the lottery or I crossed the finish line, but really the race is just getting started there. That's just putting your shoes on, and now you have to run. Because getting a record deal isn't what people think it is. It's just another opportunity to push harder.
Yeah, definitely.
It's another door.
Yeah,
because like a lot of artists sign and fall off right away.
Yeah.
In my situation, it was kind of weird. I ended up leaving them. It was a decision made between management that they thought it would be a better idea. Not too sure why. I was kind of on tour and kind of just listened to their guidance. And now that I'm with Fixt is a label that really understands hybrid sounds like what I do.
Yeah.
You know, like the mixing the rock, the metal, the hip hop, and the electronic elements together. As for majors, they like to keep things a little more in categories, like this is pop,
yes,
this is rock, and we know how to sell this. For me, it was like, they didn't know what stations to put me on. Like, do I put them on active rock? Do I put them on alternative? Rap stations won't play him because he's got too much metal.
Yeah.
EDM won't play him because there's metal and rap, and so I was like, the majors are like, we don't know what to do with this. I think Fixt is a better fit for what I'm doing.
It definitely is. Knowing some of their output that they've obviously Cell Dweller, Blue Starly, and a few others, that the output is that hybrid sound, mixing rock, metal, hip hop, all together. And that's one of my radio show. Actually specializes in that sound. That's how I found out about you. Just that I got sent a couple of tracks by your publicity agent, and it just fit the mold of my show. It just because it takes those elements of rock, metal, and dance music, and I literally mix them for the hour-long show. So it's like a sort of club mix.
Cool.
So I take like remixes or like yourself who have that electronic element in there. I play those tracks.
That's awesome. I think that's like that's the way to go. I think that's more and more people are gonna catch on, because if you take like a kid's iPod today, they don't just have rock or just rap. When I grew up, that's what it was like. You either listen to rock or you listen to rap. There wasn't many people that were into different genres. That started happening like the last 10 years. I started noticing it a lot more, at least where I'm from. And nowadays, you grab a kid's iPod and you'll find Snoop Dogg, Lana Del Rey, and it'll be rock, rap, metal, techno. So I think more and more artists are going to start fusing them together, and then there's going to be guys like you that understand that and want to push that style of music. Yeah.
Now, I've always liked the crossover sound, be it like rock and rap or dance and rock music with that. Growing up during the sort of or being part of the nu metal era in the UK, it had that Limp Bizkit, Korn, Deftones, those sort of bands coming through and crossing over those sounds and featuring hip hop artists in their tracks and things. So
yeah, I was a big fan of Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Deftones, all three. When I was growing up, I still am a huge fan. You go back to those records and they're timeless.
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. I recently saw Incubus with Deftones.
It's also a great band. They mix hip-hop elements, and they have DJ.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I was a DJ in a metal band in the UK as well. So I had that hip-hop side to that band with the scratching and the beat dropping and stuff like that. So
cool.
So we're going to get onto your new album, Fearless. It's available now via all good outlets for fine music. Like we touched on already, it's a blend of rap, rock, and electronic music. I've played a couple of tracks on my show for the people who listen to this and my show. They would have heard it. I think I played Erase You. I've got a list here: Love, Loyalty, and Respect, Revenge, and Psycho. All four tracks that really do sort of stand out to me as well. But yeah, no, it's tell me about that album. How did it come together? What where did you start with it? Has it been like the 5 years in the making, or is it something that after your experience with Universal just sort of came to fruition?
I knew that, well, when I wrote it, I was a free agent. I wasn't signed to anybody. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I was able to do whatever I wanted. And I went to a local studio and I started recording the record. And it took me, before I went to the studio, I made about 130 demos. And most of them were instrumentals. And then I brought them all to the studio, and I said, here's what I got. Let's take the best parts out of these 130, like literally 137, I think it was, instrumentals. And we're going to make a 10 to 11 track record out of this. And I will write the lyrics as we go. I already had ideas and stuff. So I rented the studio out for a month, and I literally finished it in a month. 1 month. We tracked all the drums, the guitars, took all the synth parts. A lot of the synth parts were written. I just had to change maybe the patches, different sounds to match the track, or transpose them, because maybe we wrote a song in a different key, but I like the synth part from a different song. So we take that synth part and transpose it to match the notes of the song, the root note of the song. And yeah, within a month, I had a record done. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking, what should I do with it? Should I release it independently or should I get a label? And then I was on Facebook and I saw that a producer that I worked with, Chuck Alkazian from Pearl Studios in Canton, Michigan, was working with Joey Sturgis, who's a very big producer, produced bands such as Asking Alexandria, Devil Wears Prada, Of Mice and Men, so on, Miss May I. So I was like, that's a great sound. That would match my record. So I just sent Joey Sturgis a Facebook inbox and said, check this track out. I see you're working with Chuck. I'm friends with Chuck. You can ask him about me. I did a little name drop there. And then I got a message back from him. He's like, this is a great record. I think I could get you a deal if you're not signed. And I said, that might be cool. And next thing you know, on my birthday, I got an email from Fixt asking if I would like to sign with them and have the record produced by Joey. So I was like, that sounds perfect. I was like, I knew about Cell Dweller, and I was just like, this situation was perfect to me. It all made sense. So, and it's crazy how it happened. Like nowadays, you go 20 years back, you can't get a record deal by inboxing someone on Facebook.
No, that's true.
So you know what I mean? So yeah, that's exactly how it happened. And now the record's out, and I think it sounds amazing. It sounds huge. I'm very happy with it. I appreciate you playing it, especially the Love, Loyalty, and Respect song. It's 11 minutes long.
I think I edited it down slightly, but because
you something like that.
Yeah, it's because it's a mix show. I kind of I can fit 20 plus tracks in an hour, so just sort of keeping it going. But yeah, no, it's a good track. I mean, I took a good portion of it. I think it was a good 5-6 minutes actually, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Listening to your Note to Self EP, I did before we had this interview. It is very different to your album. Obviously, you've got a lot more of the electronic element in that. It was like synth sounds and things, but on your Fearless record, it's a lot more like big beats and stuff like that. How did you evolve to that sound? Was there anything? Was it just something that naturally progressed from then to there, or was it something you consciously wanted to do?
It's something I've wanted to do. Like I was pushing for this sound for a long time, and when I wanted to do when I did Note to Self, I was trying to make the drums sound big and heavy like that, but then I was working with a producer, Michael Elvis Biscuit. He produced a lot of big bands. I think he might have produced 3 Days Grace and a few other bands like that. And when I was talking to him, we kind of just talked it over, and he was like, these songs can do really well on radio, and I wanted that. Like, I wanted that sort of success, and so I kind of met him halfway. But then when that situation passed on, and I grew as an artist, and I decided to just do what I wanted to do. If I ever had a passion project that I really needed to get out of my system, it's Fearless. Cool. Like I took a risk by making it. I know that my last record got a lot of radio play. I think it was on like 90 radio stations. I knew that this album would be harder to get on the radio because of how heavy it is and like how much I mix the genres together. I do it. And it's very energetic and in your face, and I knew by doing this record, I might be losing some of that radio play. But I just really, that's inside, it's what I wanted to make. Awesome. It's just, like you said, I naturally progressed into wanting to do this. And it's something I've wanted to do for quite some time, actually. You can kind of hear it in songs that weren't released on records, like there's a song called Harder to Breathe. You can hear it on YouTube. You can see me growing to this sound. It's something I wrote after Note to Self, and it's basically the step in between Note to Self and Fearless.
Cool. I'll check that one out. I missed that one. Going from the studio, do you have any plans for live shows, tours, anything like that coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to start rehearsing with a band within the next week or so.
Okay.
And
cool.
once we have the live show ready, then we're going to start booking gigs and hopefully jump on tour as a supporting act.
And how do you put together these bands? Are these musicians you know that are your band, or are they live musicians for you?
Yeah, I get live musicians, and they're usually different guys, just friends or musicians in the city that I know and that are willing to, drop what they're doing and go on tour.
Cool.
Because I write all the music myself, so yeah. It's not, it's kind of a unique situation. I'm not. I sound like a band, but I'm not. I'm just one person. So when it comes to performing live, I still want to reproduce that live sound. Cool. So I need to hire some live guys. Yeah.
What kind of setup do you have? You say you write everything yourself. Do you have your own studio at home?
I am a manager at a recording studio that my uncle built 40 years ago, and he recently passed it down to my cousin. It's called Polaris Recording Studios. It's here in Windsor. So this is where I work out of. I'm fortunate enough to be able to be here and write music and rehearse if I need. There's a lot of space to rehearse. And this is where I usually, demo my stuff. And I'm here every day. When I'm not out playing gigs, I'm here writing music. I'm working on some side projects and producing for other artists. Cause I also produce hip-hop for other artists and pop and alternative stuff and metal.
Excellent. Well, I'm a bit of a gear geek when it comes to like home record or studio recording. What type of what programs do you use? What hardware? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, we just got an API compressor and 2 distressors. That's what we just added to the racks. We have a couple Pultecs, and our board is it's a Quad 8. Mm-hmm. It's an analog board, and there's only 4 made in the world. It's very rare. I'll send you a picture so you can check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Right here in my room, I know nobody can see, but if I turn my laptop around, it's there's a Control 24 right here. Mm-hmm. So this is the room that I'm in most of the time. There's some keyboards to my right here. I got a couple keyboards, and then the Control 24, and then we run Pro Tools, and I use FL Studio for programming.
Cool.
That's where I usually start all my demos. I've been using it since 3.0. I bought it when it was 3.4 because everyone would download it, and then 3.4 I actually paid for it, and then I had the unlimited updates from there, and I've been using it ever since. Now we're up to 12, I think, or 11.
Yeah, it's around that now. Yeah.
And what I do is once I have something produced in FL, I might even do it at home on my laptop. That's the beauty of FL. It takes 2 seconds to load up. Bounces tracks really fast. And then once I have a demo, I bounce all the waves out, and then I go into Pro Tools and touch up the mix from there and do any kind of wave editing. I don't like editing waves in the Edison. Mm-hmm. I like doing it in Pro Tools. I think it's easier to edit the waves. But as far as programming drums, writing synth parts, just coming up with song ideas, FL Studio has been just very easy and fast for me, and it just works. And yeah, I stand by it. Excellent. So yeah, Pro Tools and FL are the two DAWs that I use.
Cool.
Obviously, recording live instruments and vocals is in Pro Tools.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I use like for this right now, I'm using Ableton to actually record this. But I have Logic Pro as well.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies away from the music?
Yeah, I'm a pretty avid gamer. I have an Xbox One. I keep a 360 at the studio. I got a stack of games. When I get bored, I play some games.
Nice.
Right now, I'm playing Black Flag. I know it came out a while ago. I beat it on 360, but I'm replaying it on the Xbox One because the graphics are just amazing. And I love pirates, and you're basically a ninja pirate in that game.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing ever. I just beat The Witcher 3, which is an amazing game. And I have a brother who lives on the other side of the country, so we play online a lot. So we've been playing Elder Scrolls online.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I got a pretty big nerd side to me. It doesn't really show, but I definitely do.
No, that's cool.
I'm not one to go out and I party a lot, but I rather go home and put on my headset and have some beers and play Elder Scrolls with my brother.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's kind of where I'm at as well. So, I guess it's a musician thing to do now to play games. But no, I just beat the new Destiny DLC.
Okay, nice.
Taken King. So.
Oh wow, yeah. You got to be like Destiny. They reeled you in with them DLCs. I think a lot of them should have came with the game.
Yeah, I picked up the main game really cheaply. I got it like after it came out for a little while, and then and I just got the Taken King DLC. So it kind of drew me in because a lot of my friends were playing it, and they said it just makes the game. It just makes the game that little bit better than it was because it didn't really have a story as such. But now it's kind of got a bit more meat to it, I suppose, is probably the better term. So
might have to get it then.
I did that, and I recently did the Gears of War as well, the Ultimate Edition. So
yeah,
which is a cool one because I enjoyed.
Can't wait. New one.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the Gears games on the 360, so it was nice to sort of revisit and beat that one again. So.
Yeah, there was another one, Dishonored. They redid Dishonored. Mm-hmm. If you haven't played that, it's a first person, but it's an amazing game. I beat it on the 360, and they redid it for the Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that one to be one of their free games. We just got the new Tomb Raider one on the Xbox One, so. Oh,
that's a game too. The Tomb Raider. That's an amazing game.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next one I go through. So.
Yeah, I just started it because if you got the gold membership, you can get it for free.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I downloaded it yesterday. So I'm just waiting to just get my character in Destiny up to a certain level, and then I'll start that game. So
get some cool armor.
yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. So I've got a couple of bits, but got to get the whole lot. So thank you for your time. Good luck with the album as well. I hope it does well for you. I'm not sure what the initial,
Yeah, the label said so far the reaction's been really great, especially from the label followers, and my fans all love it. They think it's my best work yet, and I'm happy to hear that.
Excellent. Well, everyone, check out Fearless. It's available now via your usual download and physical outlets for music. Check out, is it richynix.com? Is that your correct? RICHYNIX,
richynix.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you're also on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, any other social media sites you want to?
Yeah, just Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you spell it properly, RICHYNIX, you'll find me. And if you want a physical copy of the record delivered directly to your house with some t-shirts, there's some cool t-shirt bundles, and it's some of the best merch I've had made in my career. You can go to fixtstore.com/Richy Nix, and that's spelled FIXT store.com/Richy Nix.
Cool.
Or if you want to stream it or download it online, it's available at your iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, etc.
Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you again, Richy. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, man. You too.
Cool. Another one in the bag, if you will. So join me on my next one. I'm actually speaking to Blue Starley, Brett, as he's also known, which is another great interview for another Fixt artist. He has a new album due out as well, but go check out Richy Nix, richynix.com, or Fixt Store. That's FIXTSTORE.com/Richy Nix. And yeah, check it out. It's a great album. And so until next time, this is DJ Force X out.